originally I'm from Toronto, Canada, but via Montreal, via wherever in the States and in Europe and in England I've been. I'm living in England for 13 years, so the accent's kind of softened up.
Yeah. So you're living in Worcester at the moment? Or?
I am, yeah.
Yeah? Oh, right. So how long have you been in Worcester?
Well, a few months. I've lived around the Midlands for the last 10, 12 years, and I've toured with various acts that are, British and Canadian and from Europe, around the country doing different things. Sometimes I was playing bass, sometimes I played drums, sometimes I've been the sound man, sometimes I've been the roadie or the driver or something, and usually I've been playing or doing sound or mostly playing. And
will there be any groups we've heard of?
I used to do a bit of stuff with the Rockin' Berries now and then.
Right.
They've been going since 1960, 1960 actually.
Heck of a long time.
Let's see, oh God. Bands in Toronto that you wouldn't have heard of. I've dozens and dozens and dozens of them.
Yeah.
I've been, roundabout on the road. I've played at CBGB's, the legendary birthplace of punk rock in New York City. It's not there anymore. I've played a lot of places that don't exist anymore.
Yeah. Well, shame of it, isn't it?
Well, malignant gentrification is the word they use for it in America. They take these formerly scuzzy areas of town and they wind up with laying quick condos in them. But hey, that's how things go, isn't it?
Where's your favourite country to play?
I really like England because I think the standard of music that's being made here is pretty amazing. Doesn't matter if you're a folk artist and you're doing mostly acoustic stuff. It's very high standard. If you're into electronic and dubstep and whatever breakcore stuff, the whole thing's really vibrant here. Metal, Worcester is really well represented with heavy rock bands. But also with folk artists, with all kinds of the Retinal Circus, doing sort of a hodgepodge of different interesting folky and psychedelic things. I don't know, Vault of Eagles, fantastic band. I don't know if they're quite Worcester local, but they're certainly local to the Midlands. Mansize, This Wicked Tongue. These are bands I've got to know personally in the last few months, and also really been digging. Some of the more pub-worthy bands like the Cover Junkies. They never stop.
No, they're gigging this weekend.
They're everywhere. They never stop.
Guys.
It's amazing that they managed to hold down the Brewery Tap Jam every Monday and still do their weekends. They're always going.
You doing a lot of gigs at the moment?
No.
Why is that? From choice?
Yes, definitely. Well, no, not entirely. I broke my hand a few months ago, and I basically, no, it's not the end of the world. It put me out of a certain amount of stuff I was doing, and took me off the road because you can't insure yourself to drive with a broken hand. So it meant that gigs involved driving and moving myself around, and that I basically sort of bow out of. So no, I haven't been doing a lot of live stuff, and a lot of what I was going to do in Europe and here in England got blown out the last few months. So I do recordings for people and with people, as an engineer or as a contributing artist and engineer or producer or however you want to classify it. And I play bass for people over the internet. People send me songs and say, "Dave, play some bass for this." There's a bit of this and a bit of that happen. For money and love, mostly love.
I'd make a living out of it.
Hey, I don't know. I suppose. You do it because you love to do it, and then you find a way to make a living out of it as you go along. Really, that's sort of how it goes.
Do you do it full time?
Life?
Full time.
I do. I'm alive all the time. No. This is a lifestyle choice. It's not. I don't sort of have.
I can't see you in an office.
I've worked in retail. I've sold musical equipment and done some relatively sort of stand-up work-a-day 9 to 5 type jobs. I've worked in broadcast television as a camera and sound technician in broadcast TV, doing drama mostly. So I'm used to working around actors and art departments and people like that. I'm used to working behind the cameras and dealing with the actors and the whole mise en scène, the sets and everything, all the cabling and all that stuff. And
any famous actors?
Well, I mean, there's Doctors, a TV show shot up in Birmingham, and Chris Timothy from All Creatures Great and Small. He was on that, and he was actually one of the few people on the show that I like to talk to about music very much, because he actually knew a thing or two about music before 1970.
Wow!
And because Chris went to America in 1959, 60, he got to see Gene Vincent and his Blue Caps. I got to see New York at a time when it was a whole other different kind of romantic era of New York City. So he was interesting to talk to. He was into Little Richard, and used to talk about The Girl Can't Help It and rock movies like that. He's terrific. Lots of people were on that show as well. Andrew Sachs, who played Manuel in Fawlty Towers, John Inman. I'm
yes.
Yes, he was lovely. He's now passed away. Quite a few people, quite a few nice people. I don't know. Lots and lots of actors go through that show, and
exactly.
Anita Dobson from EastEnders, she was on it. Great people. It's terrific to meet them and actually be working with them and have something else to do besides talk about how amazing they are. For instance,
Brill. I've got to ask you, because me and Dave saw you lying on the floor in the other studio.
Yes.
What was all that about then?
Well, mostly because when we walked up here, it was quite a chore, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a mission.
And now basically, I've got a couple of things I've done to my back and neck over the years, and I need to get them realigned a couple of times a day, or else I get them terrific guff with pain. But I do yoga for at least an hour a day, I think, probably. And it's probably one of the only things that allows me to perform again, because when I buggered my neck up years ago,
broken your neck as well.
I didn't break it, no, but it was delivered quite a serious blow, and at the time it didn't seem so bad. But 6 months after I packed my job in TV, my neck locked up, and I found myself unable to move for several days and it took weeks to sort of relax itself and to become mobile again. And so I've basically more or less in and out of physio and different things ever since. But the yoga thing is the main thing that helps.
It helps. I'm fine with that. I've got a bad back.
Well, there's things you can do when you get up in the morning to prepare your back for standing up.
I've got to say that I've been given exercises and I've not done them, so it's my own fault, really.
Well, one of the worst things is sitting in chairs, funnily enough. And any of you people is there a general profile of patients in this hospital that we might be targeting, or no?
No, all sorts.
Right, yeah. Well, there's things you can do that will prepare you for standing up, even if you're maybe not as young as you used to be, like none of us are as young as we used to be. So, there's little things you can do that will prevent you from wrecking yourself when you bend over.
Give me something I could get up out of this chair.
Well,
I know it's radio, I'll try and explain it.
A good thing, if you're sitting in a chair all day, take a break, put down your pen, stop typing for a minute, let your arms hang by your sides, and then have a deep breath in, and raise your arms very slowly and softly up above your head. And then slowly let the breath out, and then your arms back down.
What are you doing? Just down the wards?
Yeah, you really need more room than you have there.
I do, yeah.
And so, just basically, you want to fill your lungs up, and just let your blood drain out of your arms. So make your arms as relaxed as they can be. Just let your fingers drip down and gradually let it just,
that feels good.
And that's enormously restorative to. It stops carpal tunnel syndrome in your hands and elbows and things. Just raising your arms up in the air and having a couple of deep breaths, you'd be surprised.
I will try that.
And that, you don't need to change your religion, become Hindu or anything to do that. It's just something that really works. And one thing it does, when you raise your arms above your head, it raises the blood pressure inside your head. As a matter of course, because obviously there's blood above your head, so
it'd be good
it has to remedy
blood pressure as well as a bad job.
It does, and there's lots of other things you can do, but that's a simple one, and lots of us spend too much time sitting either in the car or in a desk, and that's pretty low maintenance, really.
Right. There we are. See, exercise as well tonight, as well as him singing. Ready for another song?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, what's the chart in front of you then?
That's that.
It's like
that's the Sri Yantra. That's one of the most ancient symbols. It predates Hinduism and Buddhism by thousands of years. They reckon there are versions of it in various forms that have been made out of carved in clay and in all sorts of different settings. And it's common to lots and lots of different cultures around Southeast Asia, the Indian sort of archipelago, and the Southeast Asian archipelago of Ireland, and everything. These things appear to be common to different systems of yoga and meditation as well, but that's the standard sort of Hindu version of it.
Right, okay. We're learning tonight.
What the hell, eh?
What are we going to do now?
Well,
are these your own songs, by the way?
The last one was, I was going to do a song by a friend of mine who passed away a few years ago.
Okay.
I might do another one by him a bit later. But this is about the David Peel in the Lower East Side, who are basically an arts collective in New York City, and lots of my punk and post-punk friends I've met over the years, like people who were around the Andy Warhol factory scene and stuff, who have known these guys. And the song was written about David Peel and his zeal for life and his willful amateurism when he approached music. And it goes like this.